actually all just one house, and I got these yesterday, so I'm kind of excited about them. I was waiting for the landscape to grow in to photograph this house in Palo Alto, California. It was an Ing house, rather small, about 1,200 feet, and this was an extensive remodel with two wings put on the back. Two wings on the back, the turn towards the existing house kind of ignored those things. Um, and this addition will need to kind of correct these things. The angles you see, they're not random. They're all deliberately based on the angle of the sun and making sure that the summer sun is shaded and the winter sun comes under the roof and goes through those windows and warms the building. And then, as a standard thing, on all the projects, we use zero VOC paint, zero VOC adhesives, and no chemical. Because I realized that a long ago, it was great for me to argue with clients, hey, is it okay if I please don't put cancer for the chemical in your house? Is that all right? It just seems stupid. Question. And it's absurd that we're asking permission to do that. So I just come to a force everybody. And when it comes up, it's easy to say, well, you want me to smear cancer chemicals for your walls? Okay, if you really want to save 25 cents a square foot, go for it. And you realize how ridiculous that is. The picture you're seeing show a little bit of the old house, living room with the old wood ceiling, and then the addition you kind of clearly there. And design of it came about from the clients, from the family. They wanted a house that opened up to their gorgeous backyard, and they wanted lots of light. The old house is dark and dank, and the new house is bright and air and beautiful, fresh air, and by the heat of the sun. You see the master bedroom bright and in. And again, all those windows are designed to be block the summer sun and welcome the winter sun.
This could, this is another thing I could simply touch on. Whole idea of why building and sustainable food seem to be the biggest so far in the green industry, and that is just it's so appealing. It's visually, it's just mentally appealing. You can do these things for fun. It's like being around in the garden and to get your hands dirty. It's go to the farmers market. That aspect of our lives and community or food is why sustainable food is where it is. And pictures as clearly show green buildings is where it is as well. So let's get back to our slide here. So let's talk a little bit, guys. If you want to give a little more perspective about the green industry as a whole, this is where we're right now. They're protecting a lot of things. Where do you guys see things? Do you see growth in your day-to-day life, your jobs, your contractors, your subcontractors? Do you sense this? Do you sense the excitement around green building? Are people coming on board? Or other professionals as excited about it as you guys are?
I don't know about Scott, but my daily life is usually lecturing to a big group of people that are skeptical and cynical and kind of resentful that we're being forced to even look at these things. I usually play the room that I say the phrase climate change and people storm angry. My perspective might be a little different, but I'm at the mindset now. We can't wait for the free market to catch up, and we can't wait for people's opinions and prejudices and attitudes to change. We've been doing it for 30 years, and it's too slow, and it's never going to change everybody. I'm really at the mindset now that in order to get to where we need to get, we need to also be changing the regulations, and we need to essentially force it on people, not only because of our survival. You mix climate change, the insecurities around energy, the dependence on fossil fuel-based and carbon-based energy, mix all that together, and we've reached a kind of a fever pitch needing to change these things. So change the laws. Let's force everybody to be a green building. If you look, that's really what we're doing in California with the new California Green Build Code comes into anywhere.
Sure.
So say, well, let's get every building green building and be done with it. Now, and people can complain all they want, but meantime, we save entire, megawatts of electricity every hour and keeping our water clean and keeping our air clean and not cleaning all material.
Sure. And there's various initiatives going on in a lot of different places. Sometimes people get a little discouraged by lack of progress at the federal level, but from city to city and state to state, green building initiatives are taking place and being put in place that are mandating these things at more of a local level. So good to see progress in a lot of different places.
God, I'd like to,
Yes.
I'd like to comment about what Utah is in that arena.
Yep.
Our arena at this point is that with a huge discussion at the state legislature, and they sent up to committee whether Utah could adopt the 2009 energy codes, and we're still operating to the 2006 energy codes. And it actually ended that's the way it came down. They adopted the commercial energy codes for commercial, but not for residential. They quoted the fact that the construction industry was down and it would add an unknown amount of costs to implement just code. We're talking about anything beyond code, so to make the lowest possible changes, and they decided not to implement it. So it shows you right there that there is definite resistance to change and resistance being forced into it, and a lot of the builders actually were the ones that were lobbying that would be a requirement. So back to Eric's point, we are now in the process of building again at the peak pitch that we once were, but certainly putting houses out there that will haunt us is the word, I think, haunt us with their energy performance for the next 200 years, for long as houses are in operation, and people will, from future generations, I think, move into those houses to look back and go, what were they thinking?
This is a great segue from a regional perspective is fascinating. Looking at the states that Utah was perhaps one of the three states that still had the 50% approval rating for President Bush when he went out in 2008. A very politically conservative place, and of course, trends such as mandating green building standards don't necessarily apply in places where don't quite either take a long-term view or quite get the picture yet, or don't necessarily believe in climate change science. Whereas here in California,